Just don't speed us up because I already sound kind of nasally. And if you speed me up, it's like, yo man, what's good? Oh shit. Oh look, real quick, I gotta get in my mode. Hold on, I did this for y'all. Hold on a second. I'm not getting naked. I did this for y'all. I just take my clothes. I only recorded my drawers. Yes. Ta-ta.
Nice.
It's relatable. Or it relates.
You guys are into this, right?
Yes. This is the right show. All right. Rosa says it's corny, but it's all good. Corny.
All right, we're good.
Yep. All right. Welcome back, Webheads. It's me, DeMarco.
And me, Steven. And we got a guest here today.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Thanos. No, I'm just playing. My name's Gabriel. Gabriel AV. Happy to be here.
That's him. Let's go.
Hello.
I guess let's start with our guests today. What have you been up to?
Yeah, what's new in your life?
I just had this amazing slice of pie. It's like a great cherry pie from Sherry's. Shout out Sherry's out in Castro Valley. But
great place.
I thought I'd come through and bless you guys with my presence.
Oh, thank you so much.
And my lack of knowledge of Marvel. It's so great. But no, what's been good with me? For those who don't know, my name is Gabriel AV. I'm a good friend and somewhat of a family member to the man Steven right here.
That's me.
Luckily introduced to DeMarco, his better half.
That's me.
Essentially have been following these guys along their journey into podcasts through the lens of superfans on anything Marvel.
Yeah, he's been following us on our journey to stardom.
Yeah, from questionable sound quality into decent sound quality.
Yeah.
And also from questionable storytelling and synopsis gives to pretty decent synopsis gives.
I'll take it.
Yeah. It's made me want to learn more. So that's quite literally what I've been up to outside of the work.
That's all I wanted.
But we don't got to talk about that. So thank you guys.
That makes me feel better because that's all I wanted to do with this.
You've raised my relevance in the room of any Marvel, like, because my friends outside of like certain groups and stuff will have conversations about these kinds of things, and I'm just like, I should have watched more shows. Like, I just didn't have cable all the time. You got to depend on certain channels.
It's tough. I just started watching. I'm on a quest to watch every Marvel animated show.
Oh, come on, man!
And I'm like 8 shows in. I'm very serious about this, and
I don't think I'd be able to do that. But the fact that you're tackling it is,
I'm gonna knock it out, easy.
There should be you should have an Excel sheet that just shows your PG&E bill from when you never did this to now. And you're like, Marvel probably owes me like $4,800.
Yeah, I'll send it to Marvel after.
Of access energy that you just consume to stream all this stuff.
Hey, so you guys are gonna be reimbursing me for PG&E bill, right? Yeah. And I have, I've been running through episodes nonstop. I am going to say that my watching has maybe happened at times where it shouldn't have happened.
He's driving. What are you doing?
I'm not going to confirm or deny that.
Allegedly. He's allegedly been driving.
If you were to be watching this outside the home, it may or may not be while you're in a moving vehicle.
Yeah. And I may or may not have been driving. But I also could have been stopped somewhere on the side of the road doing this.
That's true.
You don't know. But I also have probably a 5-6 hour road trip coming up.
Oh, that's perfect.
So I'm just going to save a whole bunch of episodes. They're all
get through what? Like, they're at 20 minutes each?
Yeah, like 20, 22 minutes. I can get through that at least three, a lot. Yeah,
Good math. Good math. I don't blame you for that though.
Like 15 maybe.
That's not bad.
That's a whole season.
I mean, it's not to like go too much off topic, but like, do you ever like plan to watch something or like listen to something like on a long trip or airplane, and then you don't do it just because you get bored like 20 minutes in?
I save playlists and stuff for road trips, and then nobody ever wants to listen to the music that I want to listen to.
You're writing with the wrong.
So it's like if I if I drive, then I immediately throw it on, and like you guys just got to deal with it. You guys got to take a nap or something. But Ferio doesn't let me drive down to LA unless it's during the daytime.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Rose is like, you're gonna drive to LA.
Yeah.
If we have to drive, she's like, I would have preferred to fly, but
yeah, Danny lets me choose. Do I want to drive first or second?
Yeah. If we drive at night, Ferio won't let me drive at all. I get too tired.
Lucky.
I could nap the whole day, and then hop in the car once it's dark and drive like 45 minutes, and all of a sudden my eyes are like, nah, I can't do this.
That makes me feel so much better. That one time we went to Disneyland for that one day, and you drove back at night.
Yeah. Then it wasn't bad. I was a lot younger then. I had a lot more energy. That was like 9 years ago. I was still like early mid-20s at that point. It was different.
If you're a Marvel character, your weakness would be driving at night.
Yeah.
I just can't do these streets,
Yeah, I'm a villain that can only do stuff in broad daylight.
That's let people know.
What a shitty weakness.
Yeah. You just can't see at night.
Oh, the best crimes happen at night. All the goons are out.
I have astigmatism.
Hey, I do. That stuff's real. That's why.
Yeah.
You get caught all the time because it's just broad daylight.
Yeah.
You would represent a solid.
I saw him clearly on the camera. It's
yeah, it was obviously him. That's how your brand would grow. You'd probably be the best villain because people would just know. Like, there he goes again.
There he is.
Do you think if that was your life, like you're a villain and you can only commit crimes during the day, do you think you would just switch to being a hero at that point?
He just does crimes against criminals,
Yeah.
so no one gets mad at him. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I rob all the criminals during the daytime.
That's perfect. Wait, that's Robin Hood.
Damn it.
You're just Robin Hood.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and they're like, because you can, I would assume that I would be wearing a mask as a hero or a villain or whatever. But because I need to see and I refuse to wear contacts.
Yep.
This would only make sense that I have to do everything during the daytime.
You're my most relatable villain. Like I would look up to you. I'd be like, yes, because one, I have an astigmatism.
See?
And two, like that just makes like
I can't touch a hero like me.
I have a fear of touching my I can't touch my eye. It's like anything near me.
No.
I'm like, nope. That would make the most sense.
No.
There's some little black kid who looks up to Black Panther, and then everyone else has their hero, and Gabe's just like, this guy's my
That's
guy.
my guy right there.
Steve,
I can't
Steve Perry,
see
the daytime. What would be your superhero villain name? Like super villain name? The Day Tripper. Just like what would you do?
I don't know.
Your hero name would be Daybreak.
Because he's always taking breaks in between his crimes.
The moment the sun comes up, that's when you're active.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. With the birds.
Yeah, I would only hope that eventually I would get the help from somebody out there that is very scientific, and they can just build in glasses into my mask.
Yeah, you'd have a Green Goblin type eyes, little
or like
bulbs.
You know how in the MCU Spider-Man where his eyes move, like the eyes on the mask move.
Yeah,
mine are just gonna. It's gonna have to zoom in hella far. But when I zoom in, the eye gets hella small.
It's like he goes from concave to no concave lens. Warby Parker sponsorship has been fantastic for the supervillain mode I've gone into.
Yo, I'd be pissed if I had to get sponsors as a superhero.
That's
not NBA teams do it.
Yeah, why not? You just have brands on your superhero outfit. He's got just 4 eyes.
You get that Wish logo on the side.
Have a Nike swoosh on the other one.
Yeah, see? NBA teams do it. Soccer teams do it. Why not superheroes?
That's the next move.
Yeah. But if I see an MCU movie and they got the Bucky's logo on their back, I'm gonna be pissed. I just realized that the whole time we only talked about what my weakness would be.
That's all we know.
We never even acknowledged that I would have a strength.
Your strength is that you would just be like the common man. So like you would get by and no one would notice you because you would just blend in with the crowd. So
you're that average.
I would be okay with that. I'd probably get away with a lot.
That's what I'm saying. But the only reason they catch us because it's just like regular criminals. You're on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, he forgot that we had.
Yeah, I'm just doing real small like petty crimes. But then I'm also like
against criminals.
Yeah, against the real criminals.
The real criminals can't sign like they can't like sign off on any receipts because you just go in and steal their pen.
Yeah,
in the daytime.
You steal their tires off their getaway car.
No, not the tires.
I take the lug nuts.
Just the lug nuts.
Or the catalytic converter.
He's outside the BART station after long trips. Dang it. I've been had.
They come out of their office. I'm just under the car, just sawing away at the catalytic converter.
Wanted for all these petty crimes. The daybreak.
They have me on the news for all these wanted for all these crimes. And then like everybody on like Facebook is like fighting for me. Like, no, he saved me.
Yeah, but every time they go to catch you, people are like, no, actually, I think I'm just gonna let him go.
Yeah.
Like, the cops are like, but we need to. He's just been doing things heinously for the last 12 years.
The cop puts his hand on my shoulder, like, man, you gotta stop.
You gotta stop.
This isn't right.
You throw your cape, never. You just run off.
What would your superhero colors be? It's like just stereotypical, like red, white, and blue. You rocking the all black.
Part of me feels like just to go with this story and me not being as inconspicuous as I think I should be, I feel like it's only right for me to wear camo.
Oh.
Yeah. In the daylight.
Yeah, in the day.
Not near any woods, forest, nothing.
Somewhere in a city.
I'm just wearing full on camo.
You're against the wall, just like sliding across.
It's like, is he dancing? Is it people in restaurants eating their breakfast and brunch and
TikToks?
Stuff? Like, is that daybreak?
Daybreak over here.
I just keep scooting across the wall, just like, fuck.
It's the daybreak dance on TikTok challenge. People can only submit it in the daytime. I'm a hit at brunches with DJs and day parties. Only day parties.
Do not invite me to that nightclub. I'm not going. It's too dark. I can't see shit.
People start using your image for like those promotions for nightclubs. Come to the Daylight Savings Daybreak Party, hosted by Daybreak.
What time is it? Daylight Savings Time. Hosted by your favorite supervillain, Daybreak. Criminals, hide your wallets.
And that's how people know it's fake.
Yeah,
because like he wouldn't show up at night.
Yeah,
but you are there. You're just in your regular clothes.
Party starts at sunset. No, that's not him.
Wait a minute,
that's fake. He's not there.
Damn.
I'm just in the back, just hanging out. Nobody knows.
The inelusive.
You see people like walking towards you. You're like, oh, they want to come see me. They're just like walking to the bathroom.
Yeah. I'm just like looking at people like, hey, what's up?
But
what's going on?
But that makes him think his camouflage works.
I'm sitting in the corner, just like doing all this random shit, and like I think people are looking at me, and then they just like, I look behind me, and they have friends back there. And I'm like, oh, they really can't see me.
You're just going to all the tables. You're just taking the little ice tongs that they have in ice buckets, just one after another.
Instead of a catchphrase, you just your signature thing is like you wave at people, but they're waving to the people behind you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Who really wins in that situation?
I don't know. Not whatever city I live in. I can tell you that much.
Petty crime has gone down 55%.
Yeah, once the villains start doing their jobs again, that's how people were like, "We need you, Daybreak."
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta work today. Yeah, and that's another thing too is I'm still gonna have a regular job.
Clark Kent, you know.
so I can really only save people during my 15-minute breaks and my 45-minute.
That's why you're Daybreak.
Yeah,
you just take that break, you get out there, you get in and get out.
Yeah, I could get a catalytic converter in 45 minutes. I'm sure of it.
Positive.
I'm just out in the parking lot of my job taking out coworkers' catalytic converters.
Oh, you're just gonna drink up all the coffee in the break room and just not save enough for Daybreak?
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Let's see what happens.
Good luck getting home today.
What happened to my gas cap? I just swore my gas cap was.
The windshield wipers are like setting that up position.
Oh. Yes. Bends in everyone's side mirrors.
Yeah. One of the ladies opens up her drawer to get a pen, and all of her lug nuts are just sitting in there. She's like, what is this?
Daybreak.
She doesn't actually realize that they're hers. She doesn't even make it out of the parking lot for all 4 tires. It's just rolling in the opposite way.
Just sitting on tilt. That's perfect, man. I can see it. It would make sense.
I'm gonna draw this guy. This is gonna
Or if any of you listeners, if you have some art skills, and
if anybody, please draw Daybreak.
Yeah.
I need a mask that covers my whole face. I need to be in straight camo, head to toe, mask too, and give me a pair of Timbs.
Camouflage Timbs? Wait, you know he's not running from anyone in some like 12, 15-pound boots.
Okay.
They each weigh 15
Yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking superhero that looks like Fredro Starr.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, if you're not gonna give me the Timbs, then give me some camo Ultra Boost.
Hey, hold up. All right.
Those shits are expensive.
Yeah. That's where your sponsorship comes from?
Yeah.
Sponsored by the United States Army.
Use code WEB.
Your first mission, sponsored by the Marine Corps, is to touch down into Putin's office and just make sure all of his shoelaces are just knotted up so he can't tie his shoes and get to meetings to destroy the world.
All of his pens have just enough ink to start a sentence
to go dry.
Finish it.
You know, like when you try to write and it keeps almost writing, but you can see the outline of what you tried to spell. Yeah. That's it. That's just everything that happens. So nothing can move forward.
And the seat's stuck in that back position to where he's leaning back the whole time.
What did he do? He made everyone's life an inconvenience. That's why he's the best supervillain.
You use code WebHeads at the U.S. Army to get 25% off your service.
Oh, it's like legit 25%
off of your service.
Your serve duty. Like you meant to go for 4 years.
You only got to do 3.
You got to cut back. You got 1 year. 1 year cut off your sentence.
You can't combine it with any other offers, though.
No,
none. Perfect. Wait, so even your sponsorship logos will be in camouflage?
Yeah.
You can't even really read it. It's just like I see it, but I don't.
So our website
except for the Wish one, that one's just bright, just a bright white.
Wish isn't gonna let you get away with the camo. No. And my website has all of the everything is in camo, so you just can't see shit.
You have to highlight the page just to see like the...
That's the worst. Like I just can't deal with it.
You and that one guy, the guy who's on TikTok and shit, is like always trying to show you how to defend yourself against people with guns.
Oh yeah.
You and that guy team up.
Yeah.
That'd be like a Civil War type movie.
I could have swore someone said he was going to be in like a UFC bout for like a contract for one match.
I would,
but
love
that's a can of worms.
I would love to see that. He was in Hayward like last month or the month before.
For what?
Somebody opened up I want to say it was a smoke shop. I think.
It's like, this is how you don't get robbed in the daytime. He has like wanted daybreak posters all over the smoke shop.
I would love if everything that they posted about Daybreak is just like it's like a wanted poster, but you can't see anything in the square. It's just it's blank.
It's like those try to figure out the difference pictures.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have really bad news, guys. Terrible news.
Oh, great.
Daybreak, an American superhero and member of the California Crusaders. She forms a duo with Nightfall.
Oh, that's
with Daybreak
stupid.
having light powers. Man, your Daybreak version is way better.
Mine's way better than that.
It does say...
I might have to change the name a little bit, but...
You just spell it differently.
Daybreak was working on a Marvel MMORPG until last year. This was in December 2018.
Is Daybreak the name of a company too?
It's Daybreak Game Company.
Oh.
They did this,
I'm gonna
this name's just all over the place.
to really fall in with my culture. I'm gonna spell day with DEY.
Daybreak.
It's gonna be DEY apostrophe break.
Because you always just, now it changes. You always just break stuff.
Yeah.
What did it break? It's everything. Everything's broken.
I should be good. Yeah.
It's all about who's more popular, you know? Like you can always take the name
Yeah.
or something.
Just like Pitbull, he's the first result when you type in Pitbull on Google.
Yeah, those dogs don't matter anymore at all.
No. People still want to kill the dogs, but
but him,
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Everybody loves him. All right, guys. So today we got
Was that 20 minutes in?
25. No big deal.
Same as the percentage off.
Like I said, this is going to be a two-part episode, so we got time. So today we're doing Secret Wars 2. We did Secret Wars, the first Secret Wars a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was a two-parter. It was a big story. And today is just the same. This, before going into it, I thought we were going to kind of get like the same thing. This is a sequel. But I thought we would be getting the same thing as Secret Wars, the first one. The Beyonder takes a whole bunch of villains and heroes to a different place and makes them fight to figure out whether good or evil is going to prevail. That's not what this is.
I mean, I guess that would be hard to do. Like, you already took all of your heroes and villains and put them on a planet. You can't just do it again.
Yeah.
It'd be like, here we go again.
We're playing another game. But, this was not that. This was very the Beyonder heavy. Beyonder centric, I guess you could say. So, yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. Let me say now, this story jumps a lot to different places, different characters. It just goes back and forth between a lot of shit. So, be prepared. All right, so we start with this meteor-sized light coming crashing down into the mountains of Denver.
Meteor-sized light?
Yeah, you decide what size the meteor is. I don't care.
That's a lot of light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to... Those are two different things for me.
Yeah,
the emergence of daybreak.
I couldn't think of another size to do. So
it crashed down in Denver.
Yeah, the meteor-sized light crashes down in Denver.
So the sun rose in Denver.
Yeah. Essentially.
That's a lot of light. Like, how much more light? That's a lot.
I don't know.
All right. I get it. Dope.
So when the light hits, we slide into the apartment of Marcia, a.k.a. Volcana. You might remember her from the Secret Wars 1. And Molecule Man. They're living together.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah. Happy marriage. Very happy. and their TV just starts getting staticky. And then after that, they hear this large crash outside. And yeah, they hear a large crash outside. When they run to the window, these huge chunks of earth are just like flying past the window. And that's not something they see every day.
Honey, wear your raincoat today.
Rock repellent? Yes. I packed already, I told you.
So these huge chunks of earth are flying past the window, crashing into buildings, and then Molecule Man goes out to try to control the chaos.
Tries to molecule it.
Yeah. And when he looks up when he's down on the street, he looks up and he sees a man standing on one of the flying rocks, just floating by. That's impressive. And for some reason, in his head, he instantly knows that this is the Beyonder. In your story, the Secret Wars 1, the Beyonder never took human shape ever. So yeah, he looks up on the rock and he sees somebody standing there, and he's like, 1, this is all very weird, and 2, I know exactly who that is right off the rip. So he's like, this is Beyonder. At the same time, basically across the country, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and they all get a message in there, like it's a brain message that's just sent
popping
to them.
Up.
Yes, again, he just astral projects his face into the room and tells them this message. And so Magneto says, "Hey, I need you guys to follow me. I'm gonna be the leader here."
Man, I hate this guy so much.
He's such an asshole.
There had to have been like a Reddit forum of all the mutants complaining about moments when Magneto when Professor X popped up when they shouldn't have, like inconvenient moments.
Mm-hmm. So
spamming thoughts.
So yeah, Magneto's like, you guys need to follow me. I'm gonna take the lead. Let's go. And then Colossus and Nightcrawler both just stare at him like, you don't even go here. What makes you the leader? You try to kill us every other month. So and they're both staring at him. Seconds later, the rest of the X-Men team burst through a window. This is the place that you guys live, and you guys burst through the window. And they're ready to just take Magneto's head off, and then Colossus says, "No, like, listen, stop, don't hurt him. He just wants to talk to us right now." And then Magneto says, "Charles Xavier asked me to lead you guys in a search for the Beyonder. We need to go to California."
Dope.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, it's Saturday. Leave me alone.
Like, they were outside just chilling. Every other day, Charles has them in the danger room practicing nonstop. And now they get to chill. And then Magneto shows up. And he's like, we got to go, guys.
Like, why is Charles involving our nemesis
on
my day off? And
why didn't you tell us about this?
You know I can't bring any kind of metal around this motherfucker. He's just going to weaponize it.
So they're like, okay, Charles said it, so let's go. But their ship, the Blackbird, is down right now.
What?
So they have to drive all the way from New York to California.
Oh no!
Yeah,
a whole freaking road trip.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Magneto just use like magnetic propulsion to like fashion a giant flat surface of metal and just goes?
Yeah, I feel like Professor X probably had like an RV, like, this is now your new vehicle, the XRV.
That would be something he would do. So for some reason,
wait, sorry.
Yeah.
What do they do with who's in charge of the finances here? Because you have a room that can just morph into any kind of like environment to fight, and you're making people still take like vehicles with wheels on it. Like, just get me there. Like, just get me.
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I think that's where the whole budget.
Yeah, that was the danger room is the budget. Any money goes to the danger.
Now we're dangerously broke.
Yeah.
So,
His accountant is just looking at him like,
in the red.
So yeah, now they have to drive from New York to California. Luckily, like Gabe was saying, Magneto uses his magnetism to make the car fly, so it's a little bit better. But they're literally in a. This man pulled up in a limo to get all of them.
Stunting on these hoes.
So now you got like 8 X-Men in the back of a limo with Magneto
flying through the air.
flying.
How much acid was?
And this is something we bring up a lot, but okay, cool. Like everybody lives in this world where superheroes reside, like they're here. But there has to be some things that you see
that just throw you,
and you're like, wait, what the fuck was that? Was that Magneto driving a limo through there?
Wait, so
soaring?
Was he physically sitting?
He was in the driver's seat.
Unnecessary. You could just been in the back.
He was in the driver's seat.
He had the hat on.
On top of his helmet.
He was in the driver's seat with Kitty sitting next to him in the front, 8 X-Men in the back including Colossus. And
they could have just wrote Colossus.
Yeah.
It's just metal.
Anything. They could have done so many things. And that's what they chose to do.
Perfect.
So now they're on their way to California. Magneto saves them, like I said, he saves them the headache of actually driving the whole way there, so he uses his magnetism to fly the car. And then across the country, we skip away from the X-Men. We see another large light, and we now know that it's the Beyonder floating around the streets of Hollywood.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So that light, so that big thing of light just floats into a window, and then it scares the crap out of 2 people that were in the house. And
I'm not sure if this is a new show premiering, and there's just a large event going on, or.
So when the light gets into the house, it turns into a human form, and then you would think that we would cut back to New York and catch up with the X-Men, but no, they've already made it to LA. So now they're across town.
That is
fast, very fast, faster than the Blackbird would have got there, I'm sure.
Yeah, like you have this military jet, and all you needed was this guy just to carry a limo across the country.
His little hat on, just let him do what to do.
So across town, Magneto finally gets to East LA. And he disrupts the circus that's going on.
He pulled up to East LA
He pulled up to East LA in a limo, a flying limo.
That's okay.
He disrupts the circus that's going on, and he tells everyone. He says, "Everyone in here, if you're," he tells everyone in here, "If you're a mutant, you need to come with me." And
that word's offensive. We don't say that anymore.
We don't call them mutants anymore. And then so he says, "Any mutants in here, you need to come with me." Of course, there's mutants in there, and I don't know why he went to the circus of all places to just find mutants. Now that I'm thinking about it,
it's a freak show.
Okay, that makes sense.
The writers really dug into that one. And technically, isn't it kind of he inadvertently outed.
Yeah,
all the
these people trying to just enjoy the circus.
Undercover my entire life.
You guys don't like mutants. None of you like mutants.
And you go to East LA to find these mutants.
Yeah.
So you go to an underserved area with historically marginalized people.
See?
You pull up as a cisgender white male in this flying limousine.
You guys need to out yourself now.
All right, you need to follow. Like, you've been trying. You're a mutant that hurts mutants. So technically, he has his reasons, but still. You're going about it all wrong, white man. Ally, please.
So of course there's a few mutants in there, so they raise their hands. It ends up being this guy Cannonball, Magic, the Dazzler, and this girl Leela Cheney.
The worst superhero name.
Yeah.
Leela Cheney.
And there's also a teammate on the X-Men, and her name is Rachel.
Just Rachel?
Yeah.
That's just great.
I didn't do any research to figure out what her superhero name is, but everybody on the team just calls her Rachel.
I think she's psychic.
Yeah, she is.
She's the accountant.
Yeah.
Charles, I'm telling you, these books.
I read your mind twice today, and I know these numbers aren't right.
Yeah.
What is this? $4.99 a month for bigbutts.com.
It's just.
I don't know. I never seen that before.
That was Wolverine.
It's the demographic of humans. I'm just trying to make sure we adhere to all types and body shapes. We're not body shaming anyone here.
It's just a website where we all play a devil advocate. We say, hey, yeah, but
who had the biggest butt? Me. This time I had the biggest butt because I technically disrupted the room with my interjection.
She walks off. He's still going. Yeah, okay, Charles.
But you can understand, right? See, just like that.
She goes to a room. He astral projects his face in there. No, you really need to understand.
You really understand, please.
It's not what you think it is.
Okay, pull it up online then, Charles. Just go ahead. No, it's fine. Go to the website now. I believe you.
Oh, the website's actually down right now.
We didn't maintenance.
You know how maintenance goes. Always at random times.
Oh no, somebody's calling me. Sorry, I gotta go. So yeah, he gets a couple mutants from the circus, and then back across town, the Beyonder, who now looks like Molecule Man, he's taking that form. He's talking to a couple that he snuck up on, and for some reason he's playing the part. He's shucking and jiving for these people, making them feel comfortable, and the guy says, like, if you're really as powerful as you say you are, turn me into whatever I want. So then the Beyonder turns him into this man named Thundersword.
Okay.
And
that's what he wanted?
That's what he wanted. He's in this full gold getup. He has a literal thunder sword in his hand and a magical flying horse.
I hold in my hand the loudest tool on earth. Why?
He just leaves his wife.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, no.
He hopped out the window. And
in fact, yes.
My dreams.
He hops on his horse and they fly off. And then again, we go back across town, and Magneto's trying to track down the Beyonder, and he now has 8 X-Men, now he has 11 X-Men with the 3 that he picked up at the circus, packed in the limo again. So they fly off in the limo, and they think they found the Beyonder, but then when they show up, they see Thundersword is there, just tearing apart the NBC building.
CBS, motherfucker!
Because apparently he was a writer before, and they've shot down multiple scripts of his.
So somebody actually lived this life, and they're just wrote it into the comic.
Yeah, for sure. Like, fuck NBC. So Thundersword is there tearing apart the NBC studios, and then when he turns his attention to the X-Men, he just tears apart the limo, blows it to pieces. So I don't know how they're gonna get around now.
Imagine just like, quick, get in the limo, we gotta go, and you open the door. There's like 8 other X-Men in there. It's like, hi, Wolverine, Logan.
In those 4 seats over there's Colossus.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to ride laps.
You guys are gonna have to sit in the middle on the floor.
I'd be so ashamed to be a mutant. Like, this is what we're come to.
Yeah,
this is what we've become.
I would be pissed at Magneto. Like, don't go get anybody else.
I don't want to be seen in this flying limo. Else here.
It's already bad enough we're stuck back here.
There's only 2 doors for 11 people.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to squeeze down, slide down.
I had to watch all of you guys get your asses in this limo.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Butts and faces.
So, yeah, he tears apart the limo, and he just starts whooping their ass. He throws a few of them through a McDonald's. He throws a few more of them through a hotel building, which causes the hotel building to catch on fire.
Wait,
I don't know.
The X-Men are the worst.
Yeah.
And they're always getting their asses handed to them.
And then we cut across town again to the base of the West Coast Avengers, and Tony Stark and Rhodey are watching what's happening with the X-Men, and Tony sends Rhodey out in the Iron Man fit to go check it out. But when Rhodey gets there as Iron Man, Captain America's already there, and he shows up to stop this whole thing. And he's trying to figure out why the X-Men are just like not handling shit.
Yeah. Y'all got all these powers. Doing nothing with them.
You go to the danger room like 12 hours a day.
You guys are always practicing. Like, what is...
Always in your warm-ups. Never in the game.
This doesn't bode well for Professor X. And
No. Like, what kind of leader are you, man? Like, what have you taught these guys? And then, after Captain America and Iron Man team up, they start getting the upper hand on Thunder Sword, but then the Beyonder shows up in his human form, and now everybody's super confused about what's going on. The Beyonder turns Magic into a demon, and she freaks out, obviously. Seconds later, most of the X-Men team just disappears.
Magic and Colossus are brother and sister. Do they recognize each other?
Not in this story. They say nothing about it.
Wow.
Not one thing. I forgot about that.
Your sister just shows up from the circus and you just don't say anything.
No, she pops open the door and sees her brother just hunched in the back of a limo.
Like, yeah, you got you too, huh? We'll talk about this.
They probably have some like a sibling beef with each other. Fuck, he's here. All right, whatever.
Do you guys know each other? No.
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. Never seen her. And the whole time they're just burning holes into each other. So yeah, he turned Magic into a demon, and then seconds later he just disappears the rest of the team. Wolverine is one of the ones that sticks around, and he goes straight at the Beyonder, trying to just stab him. And then
that's all I got.
He stops right before, and he tries to figure out he then realizes that the rest of his team isn't there. And
11 people, it's just you. Hey,
and then he ended up stabbing the Beyonder multiple times, but the Beyonder is just standing there like nothing's going on. Okay, just keep going. And then Captain America finally turns around from his fight and sees that the rest of the X-Men team are gone. So he's thrown off. Captain America isn't paying attention to anything right now. And he almost gets his head rocked and taken off by Thunder Sword. But Iron Man swoops in for the save. They knock Thunder Sword's sword out of his hand. And then he just turns back into the regular person that he was.
Oh, that's his weakness. Okay.
And then when Captain America tries to talk to the Beyonder about what the hell's going on, the Beyonder just disappears.
I don't got time for this.
No, I don't.
I'm out.
So then Captain America walks away thinking that his day is over, but what he doesn't know is the Beyonder he just went invisible, and now he's just walking behind Captain America.
That's so creepy. He's just in like the fart zone. Just crop dusted on accident.
He's like crouched behind him, and then Captain America's like, "Oh, this is a long ass day, man." Farts, and then Beyonder's just like, "Damn it, I shouldn't have. I could have just went invisible and stood next to the guy." You don't have to go invisible and crouch and hide. So that was the first issue. And I should have said in the beginning that this story was a 9-part series. There's a lot of tie-ins of different stories, but I didn't read any of the tie-ins. If you guys
got time for that.
Yeah, if you guys want tie-ins, you're gonna have to set something up, schedule something.
That's an extra $14.95 on Patreon. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a Patreon episode for you guys. So yeah, we're gonna jump to number 2 now. And now we're in Manhattan, and the Beyonder has decided that he wants his permanent human form to look like Captain America. So he changes into looking like Captain America a little bit. He changes his face for some reason, but everything else about him looks like Captain.
He's like, "Yo, you busted." I'm gonna change up. Fix your face.
So at this point, the Beyonder wants to be as human as possible, and he understands that experience is the only way towards true understanding and humanness. So at that point, he jumps off of the building.
Oh, okay.
He jumps off of the top of a building and he hits the ground. Then after he hits the ground, he decides that experiencing more simple things may be the route to go.
He could have just asked somebody. Drop an egg first off the building. See what happens to that egg.
So he tries eating some stuff. He goes to
Wait. Why didn't he eat stuff first?
Because he's an omnipotent being who doesn't need to.
His name's Beyond, so he's above and beyond first.
Yes,
and then he dials back from there.
Yeah,
I get it.
So after he tries eating, he goes he goes to a human versus superhuman rally, and it's basically just people saying you guys are freaks, get out of here,
politicizing everything.
Yeah, and then across town we see Johnny and Reed of the Fantastic Four working on science things, and their newest member, She-Hulk.
Science things.
Yeah.
Science in the park.
And their newest member, She-Hulk, who became a member in Secret Wars, the first one. Secret Wars, the first one.
That no one knew about.
Yeah. So imagine if every time there was a sequel on something, they retconned the first title and called it Harry Potter, the first one. Or Back to the Future, the first one.
Could you imagine becoming a superhero in a war that was a giant secret, so nobody even knew you became a superhero? It's like, man, nobody knows.
I was fighting with Captain America, Iron Man, She-Hulk, and you need some help. You're fucking lying.
Yeah, please believe me.
Every day you come in here saying this shit. So their newest member of the Fantastic Four, She-Hulk, has been arrested with her boyfriend. Sue Storm is busy being turned into this person called Malice. She ran into some demon on her own time. Nice. And got turned into this person named Malice, who is the mistress of hate. And then they battle it out, and then she gets turned back to Sue Storm.
Side chicks never last.
No.
Are you the mistress of hate? Or not anymore?
Nah, not anymore. I'm done with this.
It's all about love now.
So now the Beyonder is searching for literally anyone he knows, and he teleports over to the Daily Bugle.
Oh, jeez.
And he sees Peter, and he sees Peter, and he starts asking him stuff like, he says, "Why is clothing?" What? He says, "Why is clothing? Why is eating?" And then Peter thinks he's some kind of weirdo, some drunk off the street. And then Peter runs around the corner and changes into a Spider-Man suit because he's like, my spider senses keep going off, but all I keep seeing is like this drunk guy in my in my office. And then when he changes into his Spider-Man fit, when he comes back around the corner, nobody's there. So he's like, the guy was just here. We're in the hallway at work. Where the hell did he go? There was only one place that he could have went. And then, the Beyonder's just gone at this point. But again, all he did was just turn invisible. And now Spider-Man's senses are going crazy still, but he can't figure it out. So he's like, forget it. I'm off of work early. I'm going home. He said, I'm going to go watch the Muppet special on TV.
No way. Yeah.
So he just takes off. And then when he gets home, Peter obviously takes off his mask and everything, and he's ready to chill. And the Beyonder turns off his invisibility, and then scares the shit out of Peter. And then Peter just socks him in the jaw.
Yeah. So the Beyonder knows who that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Well,
that's not an issue, right?
Yeah.
He's been outed
because I'm assuming he knows just because of Secret Wars,
right?
I mean, he is omnipotent, so he just knows everything. Secret identities don't mean a thing to him at all.
He's like, you're very insecure, Peter.
Just take off the mask.
Take off the damn mask.
So after Peter socks him in the jaw, he's like, "Who the hell are you? Like, why are you in my house?" And he says, "Well, I'm from the Beyond." And then Peter's face just drops because now he knows who it is. And the Beyonder asks him, "What is the meaning of life?" And then Peter tells him, "If you want the meaning of life, you probably got to go talk to Reed Richards because I'm not the one. I live in this shitty apartment.
And by the way, you can't just decide when and when not to just speak in full sentences. You knew full English this whole time?
I know you're omnipotent.
Why is clothing?
He's like, no, the brand. Why is clothing? You never. I'm trying to figure out where to get it.
So, yeah, he tells him you got to go talk to Reed for that one, and the Beyonder just vanishes.
Just sent them off.
And he shows up right in the middle of the Fantastic Four, trying to they're in the middle of a fight with somebody.
Of course.
He shows up literally right next to Reed in the middle of that fight. And he looks Reed in the eyes. He says, "Hi, I'm from the Beyond."
Whoa!
And then Reed tells him, he's like, you got to hold on for a minute.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of something right now. And then the Beyonder just disappears again. And and he ends up appearing in front of a clothing store. And he steals a suit and a pair of shoes.
Why is clothing?
And then he gets, after he steals the suit, he gets jumped by some thugs around the corner.
Ezeo, I take these shoes.
And then a homeless woman helps him up after that, and then she gives him a business card for the Heroes for Hire.
She had She holds that. Okay.
She
not gonna judge. Just thinking about
this homeless person on her body had
indigent. She was indigent.
She had a business card for the Heroes for Hire, and she felt at that time that he probably needed it more than she did.
Needs more than me, brother. Down bad.
So he takes the card, he blips away again, and then he shows up at the offices of the Heroes for Hire, and we see Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and the Beyonder just walks into the office, and it doesn't knock, does nothing. He just walks in, and it's Luke Cage. Like, he's not somebody I just want to walk up on. Yeah. So Luke Cage and Iron Fist don't like intruders just walking up on him, so they try to fight him. He beats them, and he beats the both of them with 2 punches.
Wow.
I was just thinking earlier, like, when you said that he popped up when Fantastic Four were fighting.
Yeah.
And, like, Johnny and the Thing, yeah, they're fighters, but Sue and Reed, like, they're not very...
doctors, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like these
one
people don't
goes
need to
invisible
fight.
to hide, and one stretches.
Like,
Yeah.
there's
so thin.
There's other solutions to the problems, and I can't see why they need to fight. And especially these two, like, Heroes for Hire, like, this guy just walked into your building. That doesn't mean you have to kick his ass.
No. Mob on him. He came in here with extreme confidence.
Yeah.
Ah!
If I'm Luke Cage and somebody has the confidence to just walk into my office,
they don't need to hire
no,
You gave someone your business card. These people know where your office is.
People keep showing up. I just gotta keep knocking them down.
So, but for him to just walk in and just be in your office and just wait for you to say something, he's probably not somebody you should fuck with. Even if you are Luke Cage, like, no matter what time of the day is, if I'm just in my office and you just walk in and stare at me and don't say anything, that could just be me, but...
And he's not still in, because he got robbed. He's not still looking like Captain
No, he
America.
looks perfect. No, he looks perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. He took some punches, but he just, like, got up. He got stabbed by Wolverine like 10 times.
True.
Just walked off.
Nothing.
Yeah. So, yeah, he takes the 2 of them out with 2 punches and then just walks through the window. Just crashes through the window.
Oh, yeah.
And then for some reason, like, now he's falling to the ground. They're, like, 5 stories up. He's falling to the ground. And for some reason, Luke Cage, who does not fly, decides that he needs to save this man by jumping out of the window.
After he just got knocked out.
Yeah. And then before the Beyonder hits the ground, he just starts floating and just safely gets himself to the ground. And then Luke Cage crashes into the ground.
Coming in hot. Or going out hot.
Yeah. And then when Luke finally gets up, Iron Fist comes down and he says, he's looking at the Beyonder. He's like, "Who are you?" And then, of course, he says the same thing he's always been saying. He says, "I am from the Beyond." The Beyonder gives Luke a few dollars out of his pocket.
Go clean yourself up, kid.
And then he walks off like nothing happened. And then a few seconds later, Spider-Man shows up trying to help out. And then the Beyonder turns back around and starts walking towards them again. And then he turns their whole building into gold.
Oh, man.
Turns the whole building into gold. And then, because it's so heavy now,
I was going to say, how?
The building just crumbles.
Yeah. It's just shrink into the earth.
Falls straight down. And then they're all looking at him like, what the hell is that for? Like,
there were people in there.
We were just on the 5th floor. That's our office. There's a whole 4 floors of people below us. And then they're like, what the hell did you do that for? He's like, well, your services require money. And that should be more than enough to hire you guys, right? And they all stare at him. And then that was the end of that issue.
Dang.
I mean, at least now you have a whole building full of gold. I mean,
yeah, but now the whole city has a building of gold there that they're just gonna start chipping away.
Yeah, I'll show up. Where'd you get that pickaxe from? Well, you know, you never know when the Beyonder.
Oh, you mean my gold pickaxe?
Yeah.
This is Minecraft.
How did the Beyonder get like loose dollars?
I don't know.
I mean, he was just turning stuff into anything, right? Like he can just
from pocket lint.
He can turn anything into whatever, but
that makes sense.
He also just stole a suit and shoes.
Yeah.
Well, he was trying to like learn like
the ways.
Yeah, the way. So like stealing, I guess. It's
Oh, I forgot to say too, when he stole the suit, a different homeless person had walked up to him like, "That's not right." She's like, "This is what's wrong with America today, is that you guys don't want to work for anything."
Dang. Perfect.
So now that was issue 2, and we're gonna head over to number 3 now. The next morning, after he crumbled the whole building with gold, we see that the Beyonder is sleeping on the streets, and there's a cop harassing him for an ID, and he says, "Well, ID, I don't know what that is." He says, "I'm from the Beyond," and then he opens a portal to his home realm to show the cop. And now the cop is just losing his shit. He's like ready to be admitted to like a psych ward because he has no idea what the hell is going on here. So now the Beyonder is just walking down the street. He tries to pay a sex worker with a gold bar.
Man.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't. She thinks it's fake. She's like, get out of here. Leave me alone, please. I don't want this trouble. And then he just keeps walking. He finds this sleazy motel and then checks in. He's like, I need some sleep. Because he just found out what sleep is.
Oh. Just found out what it was. Yeah, I need it.
I need it. Give it to me. So when he's sleeping, he falls asleep for a few hours. And all of a sudden he wakes up and there's this mobster named Vinny just standing over him in this room. And the Vinny wants to know how you made that gold bar just pop up out of nowhere, and you tried to give it to the sex worker. And he goes on with the Beyonder goes on with his long-winded story about how he's been watching Earth for years, and he saw people here had desire, and he was curious about it, so he brought a bunch of heroes. He went through the whole Secret Wars one, tells him everything, and he says the events of Secret War caused him to desire understanding. And then after all of that, Vinny says, okay, I'm going to call you later. And from now on, I'm going to call you Frank.
That's like the most like United States of America. Like, you're from somewhere foreign, completely different. Your name's Frank.
Frank.
But I'm Beyonder. I just said Frank.
I'm not doing all that.
Frank.
Frank. It's Frank. Okay. And he's like, hey, you get some rest, and then I'll come by later. We'll chill later. And then when the Beyonder wakes up after going back to sleep, Vinny takes him and the sex worker to a nice lunch.
Very nice of them to include this person.
Yeah.
Like,
hey. And then he takes them both to get some ice cream. And then and then he takes Frank back to a nicer hotel. And then the hotel room there is filled with a whole room full of sex workers.
Oh boy.
And but the original sex worker does not go with them to that part. And then the next day after that, Vinny takes Frank. I'm gonna call him Frank for a while here.
Fair enough.
He takes Frank to a clothing store and buys him a whole bunch of nice clothes.
This dude can fashion his own fashion, though.
Mm-hmm.
If he needed to.
Yeah.
We're going to go support Marshalls real quick.
Yeah.
I got a nice place I want to take you. JCPenney.
Yeah.
But he could just fashion everything himself, but he wants to experience everything.
Okay. Of the culture.
Of the culture, yes. So the next day, after getting some new clothes and everything, they put Frank to work, and they have him shaking down mobsters.
Right, real quick. That's it.
Straight to it. Pockets, empty the pockets now.
So much potential, and right to a life of crime.
The shit they have him do. Listen, they have him shaking down mobsters. They have him healing sex workers of STDs.
Hold up, this is the Lord's work.
He's just procuring gold bars out of nowhere for them. And then this one's for you. He heals Vinny's kid of dyslexia.
Yes,
like it's.
This is great. This is probably the best Marvel story that they never wrote or never filmed.
He healed him of dyslexia, and then they had him with the sign right here of words that he wrote.
No. They healed him just to make fun of him for it.
And he spelled them all right.
Yes.
And then Vinny was like, "Oh, thank you so much. You healed my son."
They couldn't make the kid be like paraplegic or like missing an arm or anything or an eye. They just had dyslexia. That's the thing that kids.
Hey.
That's the worst thing that can happen to a kid.
For some people, it
is. So a few days later, Frank has a new haircut. He's riding around his own limo. He's juicing his fruits in the morning.
Yes.
And here's another thing. He's selling cocaine.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. This is ridiculous. So,
this is days into hanging out with Vinny.
I'm healing STDs, solving dyslexia.
This man was blonde, blue-eyed, looks almost like Captain America, and now he has black hair. He's dressing in a Miami Vice suit.
Oh, yes.
And he's selling cocaine. 3 days in.
Story.
I got a yacht off Cartagena.
So he goes after he makes the sale on the cocaine, and then after that he goes to see Vinny, and Vinny tells him, "Hey, like, you've gotten too good at this.
You're creating a buzz, baby.
You've already you got the lifestyle down pat. You got to start running your own family here. You're getting too big for mine."
Coke, gold bars,
yeah,
penicillin.
So a few days after that, Frank purchases the largest home on the East Coast.
All of which he never really has to financially buy. He could just create it.
How long was he doing this for?
A total of 6 days already.
Whoa!
He just decided to buy a house.
Yeah. But at this point, like, he's on some of the things that he's doing, he's using his powers to just get what he wants.
Where's the IRS and all this?
Most of what he's doing.
You're being audited.
Yeah.
Hold up.
They get there, he's like, "No, I'm not." He's like, yeah, you're not.
I just imagine, like, because he has, like, no people skills, I just imagine he's like, cocaine?
Yeah.
Money.
Tax forms.
Okay. Cocaine. Money. Okay. Cops. Jail.
Cocaine?
Gold that all out.
But, like, because
no more prison.
He's picking things up so quickly, he has all the people skills, he can talk perfectly. He's on top of all of this.
Okay.
He's got it. And at this point, he's learning from the experiences, but he's also using his powers on top of that to just, it's whatever he wants to do, he's doing it.
Feel it.
So, a few days, he purchased a house. His house has a helicopter. He has a yacht.
The house just literally has like chopper blades on the top.
Let's go.
Above and beyond.
And then at this point, he's killing it. So he heads over to the Kingpin's office, And the Kingpin's the biggest drug lord on the East Coast, or the biggest crime lord on the East Coast.
Is this just turning into Scarface?
Almost. And he heads over to Kingpin's office and he tells him, "Hey, I'm gonna take over as the new crime lord, and you're gonna work for me."
Wilson Fisk hates that.
Yeah, and so he uses his powers to convince Wilson Fisk to be okay with that. And the day after that, he becomes president.
Wait, what? Was it even election season? No. Hey, by the way, everybody. Voting tonight.
Just walks in the Oval Office. Cocaine? President.
Okay, I'll take the cocaine.
Done.
Oh, real quick. It's completely off topic. I was watching the Iron Man show, the animated one. And for some reason in the first season, Bill Clinton is the actual president in the show. And I don't know if they actually used him for the voice, but they drew his face perfectly. And Iron Man is always talking to Bill. Like, nonstop. It's the weirdest thing.
What a great way.
But, yeah, back to the story. So he becomes president. And then the day after that, he thinks, why stop at America? I can take over the whole world. After that thought, he says, why just take over the whole world when I can control every atom on Earth? So now it's just getting...
Now he's thinking big.
Yeah.
It's all physics. It's all physics, baby.
And then we cut to Denver. We see Molecule Man chilling with his girl, Marsha. And he's trying to figure out why Molecule Man is almost as powerful as Beyonder. From the name, you can kind of guess that he can control the molecules around him. So when he's sitting there on the couch with Marsha, he can sense that her molecules are being controlled by somebody else.
Oh, God.
So he looks at her. He's like, why are you
controlling your molecules, girl?
Yo, whose hands are on your molecules? Those are my molecules.
I knew you were sleeping around.
I've been at work for 9 hours today. I come home to find out that your molecules being touched by somebody else.
Her vibes are off. You just could tell.
So he's trying to figure out why they're being controlled by somebody else. And in his head, he already knows it's the Beyonder that's doing it. So he works for a second to take control of her molecules back from the Beyonder. And so now that he took the control away from the Beyonder on Marsha's molecules, literally the only two people on Earth, the only two things on Earth that aren't controlled by the Beyonder at this point are Molecule Man and Marsha.
Wow.
Everything else,
even Professor X.
Yes, everything
That's why
on
you guys
Earth.
have been popping in people's rooms and heads. Like, Charles, chill the fuck out.
He's been on Big Booty Butts.
He's just stuck.
All the X-Men have been gone. He's like, ooh, I got the place to myself.
Now that it's just me here.
he projects it on the danger room wall.
That's what he turns the danger room into.
What I've always been waiting for.
It's like, oh, this is dangerous.
He purposely broke the jet so they have to try it.
Get him out of the house for longer.
Plan. He got rid of his nemesis and those pesky youngsters. Those old youngsters.
Yeah, and he's not even that old either.
No, he's like 45.
He's like the same age as them.
Yeah, he started the school for youngsters when he was 40. So, now it's just the two of them who aren't under Frank's control. A few days later, Frank now looks like peak David Hasselhoff.
Okay. Solid.
Exactly like him. And he has everything on Earth, but he still, for some reason, feels uncontent. He's not happy with where he's at. So he goes back to Vinny and he asks him, he's like, why do I feel this way? And Vinny's like, hey, I can't help you there. He's like, no one. He's like, what do you want me to say? You have all the power in the world.
Yeah. I don't want to give you the wrong answer.
No, you're going to kill me. And then he tries to go back to the first sex worker and he asks her the same thing. And she's no help. And then he forgot for a bit, but now he realizes that nobody on the Earth has free will. So they've just been answering with like the most simple answers because they don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
cocaine, gold. Why is it for the ultimate?
So he's like, okay, let me give her back her free will so she can give me a real answer. And then she doesn't really give him an answer, but she says, you helped me like so much in the time that we were together, which was like 3 days. She's like, you helped me so much in that time. I quit sex work and now I'm waitressing. And I finally have a real job for the first time in my life.
Nice.
She's like, I love you so much. Thank you. And then
not like sex work isn't a real job.
Boy,
some people be breaking it in.
You probably made a lot more money doing sex work, and you could probably take better care of yourself.
And you have to probably stand on your feet less in a day.
Yeah. You get to make the rules. You're kind of your own boss.
Yeah.
Now you gotta be.
Well, she did have a pimp, but
yeah, everyone's got a manager. But now you're working for $2.35 on the like an hour. Like, wait a minute.
Just hoping you get tips.
Yeah. Dang it.
So yeah, and then at that moment, he gives everyone in the world back their free will, and no one has any. He gave them back their free will and then erased their memories of everything that he's done over the past week.
So they have no clue he's still president?
No.
No recounts.
I don't think so.
Keeping his White House over.
And then later that day, he goes to Avengers Mansion and he's looking for them because he wants to talk to them. Jarvis says, oh, they aren't here. They're in the Skrull Galaxy. And then Frank just blips away to the Skrull Galaxy. He's like, well, I want to talk to him, so I got to go. And then a few hours later, we don't see anything that happens. He blips to the Skrull Galaxy, and then it just is a few hours later, he blips back, and this man looks fucked up. He looks stressed. He's depressed.
Couldn't handle those Skrulls, huh?
Something happened up there that we don't know about.
Stole the shine, man.
And then, let's see. And then that was the end of number 3. We'll do number 4, and then we'll call it an episode there. And then we'll come back with part 2. So number 4, the next day after Frank came back from the Skrull Galaxy, we see him leaving a house after a one-night stand.
Oh.
And at this point, he decides to start an audio diary of all of his experiments going forward. And I'm just going to tell you guys now, he only does one experiment in the rest of this story.
You know, I'm starting to think this man, like myself, is neurodivergent, probably has ADHD, just starting these major projects very, excitedly, and then never really finishing any of it, just kind of leaving it half-baked.
That could be it.
Like, hold up, bro. You have all this talent, and you're just setting stuff aside.
That could be it.
Oh, this is great. I've never related more to. This might be my new favorite superhero. Or is he a villain? I don't know.
We're not sure. Anti-hero.
There you go.
So his first experiment, he sees this guy called Algrim the Elf. Barely breathing. He's stuck thousands of feet underground. And he knows that Algrim the Elf, his only desire is to find Thor and kill him for basically placing him where he is underground.
Do you know how he happened upon this little?
Because he has.
I don't know how big or small his elf is. I shouldn't say.
He has control of of everyone's atoms, and of everyone and all of the Earth. So he's just going through basically just a big ass Rolodex in his head.
Okay. It's like Bruce Almighty. He just starts doing all the email prayers. Okay.
Exactly.
Nice.
And yeah, so he's like, let me get Algrim enough power to get himself out from underground and go find Thor so I can see what happens once he fulfills his desires.
Okay.
So he gives this man enough power to go find Thor to kill him. And then he just wants to, and he's only doing it just to see what happens with Algrim after he's done what he wanted to do. So, and then he sees he lets Algrim go, and then he starts checking in with other people with just like single desires in life. And then he sees a little girl with the essence of a dire wraith in her mind. A dire wraith is I don't remember, but it was something evil.
Okay.
She has the essence of this evil being in her. And he sees, but she wants it out. So he gives her the power to work on getting that evil essence out of her. He sees the Silver Surfer, just wants to leave Earth. That's his only desire.
This place blows.
And then he sees that Ronald Reagan desires tax reform.
Oh man, among other things, bad for the minority community.
So Frank, after all that, Frank makes his way to Molecule Man's apartment in Denver. As soon as he sits down, Molecule Man explains the meaning of life as he knows it, which is through love. That's how Molecule Man's been living his life since Secret War was the first Secret War was over. And then he goes on to explain his love for Marcia, and Frank says, "Okay, I get it. Bye." And then just blips away to the hotel where he's having that one-night stand. And he sees that the girl that he had the one-night stand with overdosed on pills because she said that she couldn't live without him, which is not funny. I didn't mean to giggle at that part. But she tries to off herself because she couldn't live without him. And then Frank, being Frank, brings her back to life and then tells her that he doesn't love her.
Oh, because that's going to go over well.
Yeah, she succeeded in what she was trying to do. He brings her back to life just to tell her that he doesn't love her, and then he asks her to leave.
So irresponsible.
This man is fucked up.
How do you go from solving all these things like, I don't know, genital herpes, and then and then you're just like, you know what? Forget all that good stuff. How about hate yourself again?
And then he then blips away, and he sees he just blips to some random place, and it's wherever he blips to, the Dazzler is there, the mutant Dazzler. Do you remember her from the Dark Phoenix saga?
Yeah, she can turn. What was it, sound?
Light powers, yeah, sound and all that fun stuff. And he takes her to. He then grabs her. And then blips both of them away to some space fortress. And then tells her that she's the one that he wants to love.
She's like King Koopa.
Yeah. He kidnaps the girl and then tells her that he wants to love her. It sounds as creepy as it... It looked as creepy as it sounds.
People go to prison for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she says, I before all... we get to that, like, I need to know who you are first. And he blips her away to like 10 different places to see if she wants to get to know him in these different places.
This just sounds like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Getting flown to all these random places.
This is a cosmic bachelor.
Yeah.
Yes. And I guess apparently taking her to all those different places and showing her that she's convinced that she wants to get to know him.
Just like on The Bachelor.
Yeah. And then the next morning, she's waking up in his house. And then while they eat breakfast, he blips away to go get her a gift at the mall, where he runs into the team Alpha Flight.
And just runs into the team at the mall?
Well, the team Alpha Flight, for some reason, was fighting Omega Flight at the mall.
All these flights.
Yeah. And then they think... when he blips into the mall, Alpha Flight thinks that he's part of Omega Flight, so they try to attack him.
Gang, gang.
And then he beats the shit out of them. And then they have this, one of their team members is this guy, Shaman. And for some reason, he had this ring in his satchel that he was carrying for some reason. After he beats the shit out of them, he steals the ring out of Shaman's bag and then blips back home. And then tries to give the ring to the Dazzler. When he gets back to his house, he sees that the Dazzler is trying to leave, and he's like, "Whoa, where are you headed? Like, chill out. Why do you look so angry?" And she's like, "Well, I don't want any. I decided I don't want any of this stuff." She's like, "I want to work for whatever I get, not have it handed to me, and I want to go home."
And she's not under the control or influence of his...
He gave everybody back their free will at this point.
So minus the fact that he's just been blipping across the world and whatever.
Yeah.
She's just been there like pondering these thoughts.
Yeah.
No. She's like, I think this is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can introduce you to the
So she says she wants to go home, and he blips her back home. But when he takes her home, he blips back with her. And then now they're both standing there. And then when he turns around, the Avengers are just standing there waiting for him. And they immediately start to attack him. And the whole time the Dazzler is just screaming at everybody, stop, don't hurt him. And then right before, like, the Avengers are actually getting the upper hand on him. And then right before they finish him off, the Dazzler comes in for the save, uses her light powers to blind them and give him enough time to get out.
She's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, he could have just turned everyone to gold statues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or piles of cocaine.
Yeah.
To which DeMarco would have been very much happy.
Cocaine?
He just snorted Wolverine.
So
Hell yeah, bub. Like, no.
And now that Frank has been saved, he blips him and the Dazzler away to safety, just to tell her that
Here it
just
goes.
to tell her that those weren't actually the Avengers. He just astral projected their images there to see if she would actually save him.
Great test after test.
And to make up for it, he gives her half of his own power.
Oh, whoa.
So that they can now become equals, thinking that that's going to make her stay.
Boot up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm all in.
And still, she doesn't want any of this, so she
Her
flies.
power's not even that cool. I would have
No.
taken that in a heartbeat. Like,
So she flies
got,
off. She
I would have took the half he gave me and then took the rest of his.
yeah. Oh, now we're equals.
now we're
Got
equals.
your ass.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to
And
take your shit.
And I
Now.
still got my firework fingers and light
Yeah.
shows. I can still do that.
You've been jacked, motherfucker.
So she flies off. She expels the power from her body, and then she falls to the ground.
Idiot.
When she
Dumbest criminal.
when she wakes up after hitting the ground, all of a sudden she loves him, and she says, "What can I call you?" Because she still doesn't know this man's actual name.
Oh no.
So she says, "What can I call you?" And he says, "A taxi."
Yes. Yes.
Dad jokes for the win.
Yes.
That's exactly. And then
Yes.
she says, "Okay." She thinks his name is a taxi. So she says, "Okay."
Oh, this lady.
She says, "Okay, a taxi. Let's go get married." And then my next note was, I want to know which two dads approved that joke.
You know?
Because there's one that wrote it and there's one that read it and approved it. And I can only imagine how proud they were of each other.
I see your dad joke, and I raise you another dad joke. Oh, you hit me with the call me taxi? Okay, well, guess what? Let's go, a taxi.
So,
Perfect.
seconds later, after she says, "Let's get married," Frank decides that now he doesn't want to go through with this. And then he sent her back home with no memories of what happened at all.
He's like, "Oh, you're too clingy."
Get out of here.
Why did that drive?
And that was issue number 4. And then on the next episode, we'll get to issue number 5. But this is...
Man,
I love this one.
There's so much going on here.
Wow.
What a crazy story.
Yeah.
I'd say this is much better than the first Secret Wars.
It's way more entertaining, for sure.
I just need... If you had that bomb sound...
Man, let me turn it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I said forget about it, cuz.
Oh, wrong one.
No. I said forget about it, cuz. Boom, you don't have none of those memories, Dazzler.
No,
Done.
You want to get married? Nah.
Oh, that house that I got out there in Florida?
Gone.
Damn.
Heroes for Hire ability.
Gone.
Oh, all those powers, half my power and lifeline.
Forget about it, cuz.
All the cocaine and gold.
I said forget about it,
I
cuz.
still got that.
yeah. Forget about that. Don't worry about that. That's staying. This dude never got audited.
Never
had to fix it.
Yeah, and then we're only halfway through the story.
It's amazing.
yeah, I guess we're gonna call it a week here.
Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up. We will talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.